Hey guys, welcome back to the next phase or next segment of painting Carl into an ultramarine. Just recapping what we have just done. We primed the model and we sprayed some very hot highlights. Probably did a little too much, a little more than what I wanted to, but it's okay. It's all right if you did too much. You can always go back and correct it. I'm going to put a little more on here because I want to. Because what we do is when we go back with the blue, and any area that needs to be redone for shadows, we can redo them. No big deal. Okay, so it's okay if you cover a little bit of the shadows, a little of the black. That blue should be able to come through, and if not, we can correct that. All right, so we've got this done. You can see we did the arm. So we're going to go ahead and clean the airbrush. I'm going to put first of all, I'm going to go ahead and clean the tip again. All right. And then I'm going to clean my brush out because we're going to change it out. I always want to put the cover back on if I'm going to do a lot of handling, like cleaning the airbrush. So put a little more of this amazing cleaning juice. Do a backflow. All right. And I'm going to push this through my cleaning pot. There's my compressor. Once again, I am still on 35 psi. At this point, you can drop your pressure anywhere from 25 to 35. 25 is probably really good. Really, what I should have done, I should have dropped my pressure down to about 25 to 30 to do these highlights. I just have decent control enough to be able to do it at a higher pressure, but when you're starting out, it's probably good to just drop the pressure. It makes your job a lot easier. Let me make sure I don't splatter all over my my lens of my camera. Probably a good idea to get a cover for it so I won't splatter all over. All right, keep doing it. Make sure that it is super clean. Again, I am using my Gallery GHAD 68 trigger airbrush. All right, let's see how we're looking. We still got a little paint there. Let's run a little towel in there, and let's add a little more. Make sure I like my stuff super clean, man. I do. I just don't want any of this stuff to cake inside or out. Okay. Let's blow it back into the cleaning pot. By the way, if you're not sure what a cleaning pot is, let me show you. It's this guy right here. That right there. This is a lifesaver. It's great because what it does, it helps you dispose the product without having to blow it out into the environment or out into your room or wherever you are. Okay. So let's see where we are. Clean that up some more. All right. I think that looks fine. I think we're clean. So I need a new paper towel because I've got white on that one. There we go. Again, you take care of your tools, your instruments, they will take care of you, I promise. You do not want any residual paint. There are some YouTubers that, they interchange their paints. They'll go from one pigment to another. And that's all fine and dandy. But that just means that they'll be spending that much time cleaning their airbrush, that much more. And honestly, I like to keep an airbrush clean after each. I know it might be a lot, and it's okay. You don't have to follow that exactly. But I have had the same airbrush that Iwata for 5 years, and I've never had a single problem, never had to change out the needle. No parts replaced, no parts required. So it just depends on, how you want to do it. Okay. kind of cleaning my area here. So the next phase is we're going to go ahead and spray the blue. And we're going to use this guy here. We're going to use dark gray blue. All right, for the base coat. And then we're going to blow a little bit of this, the faded marine, ultramarine, for a little bit of the highlights. So we're going to coat the whole thing with this. Okay, this is, again, dark gray blue by Pro Acryl, Monument Hobby. Let's make sure it is shooken. Always shake your paints. Makes them up really good. Acrylic has a tendency to, any paint really, but mostly acrylic, has a tendency to settle. Okay. Now, again, I'm leery about these Pro Acryl paints because when you shake them really good and then you open them, you have a tendency of it going bloop and spitting up. Will it do that? Please don't do it. Yep. You almost did, but you didn't, and I'm glad. All right. Oh, all right. So because we're doing the whole model, we're going to go ahead and put a good number of drops in there. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, let's try with 15 drops. See, I got a nice little pool there. Make sure you close your bottle caps. I like Pro Acryl's bottle caps because you can close them. I don't like them because they're messy. All right, so we got our blue. We got our model, Carl. Say hi, Carl. Hey. Okay, and let's make sure that we do a little test. It looks good. And here we go. So we're going to cover the entire model. Remember what I said? There's going to be, it's going to look like I will be covering the hot spots, and it's okay. We're going to go back over them. Make sure. Again, I'm sorry, guys. I'm having a difficult time because I'm literally painting through the lens of the camera. And I might have to clean the tip because it looks like I might have a dry tip here. There we go. All right. All right, so it looks like we covered a lot of our highlights, so we're going to go back over them. And then we're going to go back with the brighter, faded ultramarine color. You can still see some of the highlights, and that's fine, but you can see they've been washed. Let's go ahead and get this guy. I'm sorry, I keep keep pulling it away from the camera. I need to make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. Let's see if I can adjust this camera a little bit here, guys. There we go. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to add the black. And you can see I still have product left. Unfortunately, I have to get rid of that because I need to go back with some shadows. I need to get that cleaned up. So let's clean this out. Again, guys, you're seeing my process. I am not here to say that it's the best process. I'm sure there's somebody out there that probably has a better process. If you do, find them. Please follow them. Check them out. Make sure that you learn from them. That's what I have to do. I've done a lot of the research. I've watched a lot of videos. You know what I didn't do? Dang it. Okay. I forgot to put the. I might be able to put a little bit left on this guy. I forgot to do the helmet. Okay. That works. All right, then we're going to do a lighter. So let's keep cleaning it. So we got the helmet, we got the suit. So now we need to. Oops, sorry, I need to hit the camera. Again, guys, my hope in this is to be a help. Like I said, I'm not a professional. I won't profess to be one. I just wanted to pass along whatever information that I might have that might help you on your airbrushing journey is all. I'm only using, what, about 5 to 6 years of experience on the airbrush of just painting. I don't do any kind of designs on airbrush or with the airbrush, you know, like some of those old cool people do. I'm not that cool. You know, I just do what I can to paint. So one day I'd like to be able to make some really cool designs. Yeah. You know, I want to be able to, you know, do some skulls and stuff, you know, some really cool stuff. Just like, you know, everybody that has an airbrush does, right? Isn't that how it goes? Almost seems like that's the stereotype, that people with airbrushes can airbrush skulls on t-shirts. I think that's the norm. Okay. Let's go switch it to I'm going to use Coal Black from Pro Acryl. And again, I'm going to try to recreate my shadows. And shaking it like crazy. I want to make sure that it's mixed really well. There's the bloop. See what I tell you? So annoying. Always erupts like Mount St. Helen. All right. We don't need a whole lot. I just need a couple of drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's good enough, I think. I just want to be able to create some shadows. All right. So what we'll do is we'll do some shadows here on the side, on the inside of the leg, the outside of the leg, and then the inside of the leg if I can get to it. There we go. You see how it's actually turning up? Let's get a little more definition on this one here. I hate that overspray. It's all right. That's all right. I'm not too worried about overspray because, like I said, we can go back with the bright stuff and make it work. All right. A little bit from underneath. I think the hardest part is being able to paint as I'm holding, because I'm not looking at it directly. I'm going through the camera in order to paint this, so it's definitely difficult. let's do a little bit on the chest plate here. Bottom up. There we go. Okay. Uh-oh, don't fall apart there, Carl. Stick with it, buddy. You're okay. All right. Looks good, I think. All right, and then let's do the same thing for the arm. Remember, we don't want to forget, because right, what we're trying to do, again, we want some shadows where the shadows belong. Sorry, again, it needs to be on the camera. And we want the highlights where the highlights belong, right? There we go. All right, so you can kind of see where this is going. Blow a little more. And forgive me for my terminology, guys. Again, I don't know all the terminology, all the terms, and all that other stuff. I just know what I think works. Okay, so let's do the same thing on the helmet. We're gonna go, if we can make it bottom up. Again, we want shadows. Slowly. Yeah, that looks good. It's getting there. We're gonna have to do this detail work as well. Okay, I think we're good. I think we have. Let's clean up Carl a little bit. Clean that tip. Let's take that guard off. Yep, there's definitely paint on that tip. Again, that's the problem with acrylics. And the main reason why I like to use a higher pressure Sweet. All right, I think that might be good enough. The word think has escaped me, so we'll use that. All right, I believe that might be it. All right, let's go ahead and clean out. Just say clean the tip. Put the nozzle back on, or the cover back on. All right, and clean your airbrush. Got a little bit. Again, good thing I didn't use a whole lot. Sometimes what does help, I do have a little cleaning brush. It's just a junky brush that I can use to kind of stir the inside a little bit. Make sure you not to do metal on metal. Sometimes you can't avoid it, but yep, that helps kind of get all the stuff that might have settled. What you can also use is flow improver. Flow improver will help the dry tip. What it does, it kind of breaks the tension a little further on the paint and keeps stuff from sticking, so it doesn't dry as fast. Acrylic does dry very, very fast, by the way. Okay, let's clean you out, see how you look. Let's add a little more. Okay. I have to change this paper towel. Okay, clean that out. Paper towel. Or tissue, as my friends from across the pond like to call them. There we go. Looks good. All right, so now we are going to, well, make sure we close our paints that we're not using, and we're going to use faded ultramarine like I mentioned. You know what? Before we do, though, let's get all this trash out of the way. Before we do, let's... Oh, my goodness. Carl, your arm. You okay? All right. I don't know if Carl's going to survive this. Might need some new sticky tack. Carl's not behaving. Carl, you need to stop. Stop being stupid, Carl. Not all about you, okay? Carl. All right. I think that's good. Okay. Let's go ahead and, you know what? Let's go ahead and put some more white. Let's airbrush a little bit more white on the highlights, and hopefully we get a little more control, and then we can go back with the faded marine, ultramarine. Untap it, make sure that it doesn't. So again, I'm using bright ivory from Monument Hobbies or Pro Acryl. Just a few drops here. I'm not going crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 drops. Okay, I'm taking the nozzle off. I am going to put a little bit of flow improver. One, two. Let's mix that up really well. Let me get my mixing brush. Oh, shoot. Cover just went nuts. Oh, looks like I still have a little bit of blue left in there. I don't know why. There we go. All right. Right. So, since I have the arm here, let's start on that. Okay. And then do the same thing here. Let's move the arm out of the way because I don't want to overshoot it or spray it. You know what? Let's drop the pressure down. Let's see. We're gonna go down to 25, like I mentioned. There. That'll allow us a little more control. Okay. There we go. Much better. Yeah, so much better control. Again, I should have done that to begin with. Drop the prayer pressure and a little flow improver. By the way, if you're not sure what flow improver is, you can use glycerin, vegetable glycerin, by the way. You can buy some flow improver and spend whatever, money you want. That's fine. If you got the cash. I'm a baller on a budget. So I make my own flow improver. How do you make flow improver? Very easy. You can go to Walgreens or any kind of drugstore and go get you some vegetable glycerin. Mix 75 part water, 75% part water, and then 35% or 35 part glycerin. So you fill the little bottle, like this is what I use here. This little bottle, I filled it up about 3/4 of the way, and then the rest with glycerin. And the glycerin actually helps. You can see it shining. So glycerin actually helps break that tension, and it definitely becomes better flow improver. So yeah, Pretty cool. Just gonna make sure I get all the areas that I need here. I definitely need to get that this arm better. Keep it on the camera. There we go. Again, right at the top. Get that knee. Highlight that front of the boot. Okay. And then again, we need to make sure that we have the same amount of coverage. Perfect. All right, that looks good. So let's go ahead and clean the tip again. I know, guys, that this is a heck of a process to constantly have to clean out the brush. Yes, I understand it's a pain in the butt, but you know what? You do what you want to do. For me, I think it's easier just to keep it clean than to have to really worry about scrubbing the crap out of it once you're completely done and you have all that settled paint at the bottom of your bowl, and have to figure out how to get all that. Sometimes you'll have to get your little tools that you'll need in order to clean out the actual nozzle itself, which means you'll have to remove the nozzle. You'll have to disassemble your airbrush, and then you know, clean it that way, clean the needle, all that stuff. I like to do this because it keeps me from having to disassemble the darn thing, and it lasts so much longer, and I don't have to worry about all that crap. So, but like I said, you can do however you want, and I forgot to put the white on this one. Gosh, story of my life. That's the problem about having to paint things that are disassembled or in pieces. All right, so let's do this real quick. Put a drop, single drop. Come on, you can do it. Let's do 2 drops. Come on, will it go down? Please go down. Please go. It's just sitting there. Come on, it's right at the edge. Come on, oh my gosh. Fine. Oh my gosh, such a waste. I hate wasting paint. Okay. You know what? Let's add some flow improver. Just to got to get it moving along a little bit. 1, 2, couple drops. Use our trusty, you know, mixing, aka cleaning brush. That's good enough. What a mess. All right. All right. And let's go back and make sure. Yep, now it's nice and get that. There we go. Brighten it up a little bit. There you go. All right. Now we can get rid of this stuff and then start with the faded ultramarine. Let me see if I can go ahead and clean this up really fast because we're running out of time. I didn't have a camera in my face. I can definitely do it without a problem. Okay, that looks like it's good enough. All right, we're going to go ahead and, again, faded ultramarine. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Try to close my other paints. All right. There he goes. Trying to erupt again. Why do you do that? Why are you the way that you are? Hate that crap, man. Every time. All right. I'll put a couple of drops in there. Because all we're going to do is we're just going to follow up where we hit the highlights. Okay? That's it. And we're definitely going to put some flow improver because I'm tired of screwing around with this. All right. Put a couple of drops. Let's see. 1, 2. I think that'd be enough. I'll tell you what, having a flow improver definitely does help. If you're wondering, little ADD moment, guys. Oh, don't mess with that. If you're wondering what kind of glycerin you can use, like I have this. Little show and tell. Again, it's just vegetable glycerin. That's it. There it is. Glycerin. That's all it is. You can buy this anywhere. You can buy this, and typically you can find this in the cosmetics section of your drugstore or grocery store, wherever the hell you buy your stuff. All right. Here we go, guys. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a light hit. On where the highlights are. I got a feeling it might be a little too bright, but it's okay. We can go back with the blue. All right, looking pretty decent. All right. Same thing for the arm. And the helmet. Ah, come on. Keep it on the camera. There we go. All right, and then we're going to go back with the dark gray blue. You know what? We're going to change the things up, guys. I'm sorry. I'm going to call an audible. I want this to look a little richer than that blue. The dark gray blue looks fine, but I think it's just a little too, I don't know. It's too light for me, for my taste. So let's change things out. I am going to use Imperial Blue. Not a lot of it. I'm just going to use a little bit of this. Is from Game Air from Vallejo. Sorry, I'm kind of cleaning out my brush because I still have some of that Ultramarine blue. Faded blue. Again, you're seeing my process, guys. So you're seeing what I'm dealing with. All right. So this is already thinned down for airbrushing. So just kind of doing a little test on the arm, the one that's separated. What I like about this particular blue is that it's really translucent. It allows for highlights to blend through. The Monument Hobby paints are very pigmented, very strong, so they have a tendency to kind of cover. Sure, I don't have anything on the tip. Looks like I still have some of the old paint on there. Okay. So let's look at how we can do this on Carl. Come on. I may have to actually... well, we'll see. Again, sorry, I'm stepping away from the camera here. I might have to put some flow improver. Yep. Two drops. There we go. That's behaving now. You can already kind of see it taking shape, so I think my audible might have paid off. So look at that. It's already looking amazing. That's kind of what I was looking for. I was kind of hoping the Pro Curl would do it, but apparently it is not translucent enough. So, finding a good pliable, I like to say pliable, what you call it, paint that you can work around with is important. Okay. I'm okay. This might work. So I think I can probably use a little more darkening around the sides to kind of narrow the edges a little bit. So let me do some changes real quick, and I'll be right back. We'll put some more white on the front and then redo this. Okay, guys, we are back. I had to reposition the camera because I was just really missing a lot of angles that, yeah, it just wasn't doing right. So I think this angle will work out a little better. So let me go ahead and add the black in this. Again, we're going to use coal black. And again, you can see everything a lot better. You can see the airbrush. So I just want to go ahead and make sure that all the shadows are more pronounced, and making sure that the highlights pop, right? Because that's what we're looking for. We're going to add a little bit of flow improver. Do the little mixy mix. Yeah, that's. I'm telling you, man, the flow improver definitely makes a big difference. Okay. All right. So we're just going to close this in a little bit more. We don't want... There we go. We don't want too much highlight on the sides. And we're gonna brighten it up a little bit more because it's just too dark. Yeah, I think that's probably good enough for the side panels on the... I'll probably have to redo this again because when I go back with the white for the highlights, it's I think I'm gonna wind up doing overspraying. But with a little bit of flow improver and all that stuff, I think we'll be able to get past it and get by with it much faster than we've had here in a little bit. So you can even see my cleaning pot in the camera view, which is great. This is a far better angle than what I had before. So you can hear my airbrush in the back, or my compressor in the background, but really it's not very loud. I mean, if you can't hear it, that's even better. That means that yeah, it's doing its job. By the way, the air compressor that I currently have is the one that I had mentioned in one of my previous videos. Matter of fact, the first videos on the type of equipment, the type of airbrushes and all that stuff, and the cost. So if you're curious as to know what kind of airbrush compressor to use, to start out, go check out my first video, and yeah, that'll kind of give you an idea of my current rig. I do have the Masters airbrush compressor with the tank, and it has the regulator as well as the water or the moisture filter. Okay, going back again with bright ivory. I want to make these highlights pop. I think they're just a little too dull for me. I need a good distinction. So we're gonna go ahead and same thing. We're gonna add a couple of drops. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drops. Also, it's nice this angle because I'm not behind the camera. I'm actually next to it. So. Okay, we'll put some flow improver. A few drops here. 1, 2. It's good enough. And I can actually see what I'm doing. I have more comfort. Mix it up really good. Right. Make sure that it sprays okay. All right, sweet. All right, so I'm going to try to do more of a top-down. Those guys come through. Cool. So again, I'm just kind of redoing the highlights because I want this to kind of come through. I think that's going to look good. And can't forget the forearm and the chest here. Perfect. And then don't forget the other arm. Perfect. All right. Sweet. Okay, so going to clean this up real quick. You can see it better. All right. All right, all right. All right, and then we're going to go back with Imperial Blue from Game Air, or Vallejo Game Air. And yeah, we're going to do Flow Improver on there as well. Just makes things a lot better. Okay. Two be enough. Might need to add a little more because I did add a good bit of the paint, but I don't know, it might be okay. All right. So we're gonna do a test on the arm first. Here's the arm. Yeah, looking good. Yeah, this is definitely better. Okay. I don't want to go too deep with it, meaning I don't want to layer it too much because I don't want to wash out the highlights. But I definitely want to get that nice, rich, deep look. And I think we're getting there, and it's looking pretty darn good. And then later we can definitely pick it up a little bit with some edge highlighting. Yeah, that actually looks... That looks pretty good. Look at that. Kind of touch it up a little bit. Making sure it's all... Oh yeah, this is gonna look amazing. And that is pretty much it. That is kind of what I was looking for. Now, once I do the detail work and oh, you know what? Can't forget. Forgot to do the highlight on the helmet. I always forget the freaking helmet. So, let's go ahead and empty the brush. We're going to brighten the helmet. You might ask yourself, you know, how much airbrush cleaner do I go through? Actually, that's not a whole lot because you only use a few drops of airbrush cleaner to clean your airbrush. So, I mean, it doesn't take a whole lot. Sometimes just using regular water is enough, which is what I have here. Just going to put a couple drops and just kind of make sure you don't have any clots of any kind. And that looks pretty good. Sweet. Okay. All right. Going back a little bit again with the white. Just kind of three. Okay. We got that. Wow, not even camera view. That's great. Pretty clean. It's not a whole lot going on in there. And then we'll go back with the Imperial Blue, and then that should call us. Okay. So again, I hope this is of some help to somebody. If not, I apologize. But if it is, let me know in the comments below. You know, if you were able to get anything out of this. If anything, maybe a good laugh. Okay. And let's go back with the Imperial Blue. Not even going to thin it down. I'm just going to kind of spray it because, yeah. There we go. There you go. There you go. Much better. Sweet. All right. And that pretty much concludes this phase, guys. So that only leaves some of the detail work, and I'm going to do that off camera. So the next time I showcase this video, I'm going to showcase the entire finished product. But that is pretty much how I do my highlights, my shading. Of course, it's going to need all of the detail work. It's going to need right, all the trim, all the metallics, right, the metallics on the bolter, the heavy bolter, the trim on the exhaust ports of the backpack. All of that's going to be metallicized, right? So, yep, and that's gonna look boss. Anyway, guys, I really hope you like this video. If you have any questions or any comments or anything, any way that I can help out, and anything, any other explanations that you feel I might be able to help, please let me know in the comments below. But otherwise, thanks so much for joining me. And Carl says thank you. The next video you'll see will be showcasing the finished, completed Carl, the Ultramarine. Take care, guys.